Hi everyone, today we'll see about the maxillary nerve. Maxillary nerve is a branch of your trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve is the fifth cranial nerve and it is the largest of all the cranial nerves. It has about three branches: the ophthalmic branch, the maxillary branch, and the mandibular branch. The ophthalmic branch is sensory nature. The maxillary branch is also sensory in nature, and the mandibular branch is mixed, which means it can supply both the sensory as well as the motor. In this video, we'll learn only about the maxillary nerve. So, where does this maxillary nerve come from? It arises from a ganglion called the trigeminal ganglion. The trigeminal ganglion is situated in the Meckel's cave. It is situated in the Meckel's cave or Meckel's cavity, which is seen in the petrous part of your temporal bone. Petrous part of your temporal bone. And this ganglion has two roots, a motor root and a sensory root. Our maxillary nerve arises from the sensory root. As soon as the nerve arises, it gives off a branch and then it leaves the cranium through a foramen called the foramen rotundum. It is called as rotundum because the foramen is round in shape. So the nerve leaves the cranial cavity through the foramen rotundum and then it enters a space called pterygopalatine space, and it gives some branches here and then it continues its journey on the posterior surface of the maxilla and it enters the orbit. It enters the orbit through the inferior orbital fissure, and once in the orbit it runs along a canal called the infraorbital canal, and then it exits the orbit and enters the face and gives off its terminal branches. It exits the orbit through the infraorbital foramen. I'll tell again. Once it's given off from the ganglion, it travels along the cranium, gives off a branch and leaves the cranium through the foramen rotundum and enters a space called the pterygopalatine space, and then it reaches the orbit through the inferior orbital fissure, and then it runs in the orbit along the infraorbital canal, and then it leaves the orbit and enters the face through the infraorbital foramen, and in the face it gives its terminal branches. To learn the course easily, we'll now divide the nerve into four parts. The first part is within the cranium, and the second part is in the pterygopalatine space, and the third part is within the orbit, that is within your infraorbital canal, and the fourth part is in the face. We'll divide it like this and then we'll learn each part. So the first part within the cranium, second part in the pterygopalatine fossa, third part within the infraorbital canal, and the fourth part in the face. Within the cranium, it gives only one branch, which is the middle meningeal branch. The middle meningeal branch accompanies the middle meningeal artery and it supplies the dura mater. It gives sensory supply to our dura mater. So there is only one branch within the cranium, which is the middle meningeal branch. It accompanies the middle meningeal artery and supplies the dura mater. And the second part is the pterygopalatine fossa, where it gives about three branches. They are the zygomatic branch, the pterygopalatine branch, and the posterior superior alveolar branch. This part, the second part, is quite complicated, so I'll tell you step by step. So first we'll see about the zygomatic branch. This zygomatic branch will enter the orbit through the inferior orbital fissure, and in the orbit it divides into two branches, zygomatico-temporal and the zygomatico-facial. The zygomatico-temporal nerve supplies the skin on the side of your forehead. It supplies the side of your forehead, and the zygomatico-facial nerve supplies the prominence of the cheek, that is your malar area. So this is about the zygomatic nerve. So next is the pterygopalatine branches. It arises as two trunk and then it joins and relays in a ganglion. It relays in a ganglion called pterygopalatine ganglion. From this ganglion, it gives, that is the postganglionic fibers will carry the secretomotor fibers to the lacrimal gland. The lacrimal gland is the tear gland, so it is responsible for your tear secretion, and also it gives many branches and supplies the following four parts. They are the orbit, the nasal cavity, the palate, and the pharynx. The orbital branch supplies the periosteum of the orbit. The nasal branch supplies the posterior nasal septum, your lining mucosa of the posterior ethmoidal sinuses, middle and superior concha, and it gives off an important branch called nasopalatine branch. See, consider this as your hard palate. This nasopalatine branch will supply your premaxilla, that is the anterior part of the hard palate. So when you work on this area, that is in the anterior part of your hard palate, it is necessary to anesthetize this nerve. This nerve enters the palate through the incisive foramen. The incisive foramen is found below the or above, whatever it is, or we can say it is hidden by the incisive papilla. And next is the palatine branch. The palatine branch again gives very important nerves. They are the greater palatine and the lesser palatine. The greater palatine nerve supplies the posterior part of your hard palate, and the lesser palatine nerve supplies your soft palate. So again, these nerves are very important. Since we work in these areas, the dentists work in these areas mostly. So the nasopalatine nerve and the greater palatine nerve are important to us. And then at last you have your pharyngeal branch, which supplies the pharynx. That is, usually it supplies only the nasopharynx. The last branch in the second part is the posterior superior alveolar. This is again very important because it supplies the pulps of your upper molar teeth, your third, second, and your first molar. It supplies your upper molar teeth. Therefore, when you work on the teeth, like when you do extraction or when you do a root canal or whatever, you need to anesthetize this nerve to work in that area. So that is all about the second part. Next we'll go to the third part, which is within the infraorbital canal. In this part, it gives again two main branches, namely the middle superior alveolar and the anterior superior alveolar. They are also very important because your middle superior alveolar supplies your upper premolar teeth, and your anterior superior alveolar supplies your upper anteriors, that is your upper lateral incisor, central incisor, and your canine. So these nerves are very important, and your posterior superior alveolar nerve along with the middle superior and anterior superior alveolar nerve combine together to form something called as a dental plexus. It is called as a dental plexus. They'll interconnect with each other and form the dental plexus. The dental plexus divides into three branches, namely the dental, interdental, and the interradicular branch. The dental branch supplies the pulp of your upper teeth, and the interdental and the interradicular branch will supply the surrounding tissues, that is the periodontium of the teeth. So this is about the infraorbital part. So we have come to the last part, which is the terminal branches in the face. So it leaves the orbit and enters the face through the infraorbital foramen, and it gives three terminal branches. They are inferior palpebral, lateral nasal, and the superior labial. The inferior palpebral supplies your lower eyelid, lateral nasal supplies the side of your nose, that is the side of your nose, and then the superior labial supplies your upper lip. It supplies your upper lip. So this is about the branches. Now I'll recall again. So it has about four parts, which is the first is the part within the cranium. it gives only one branch, namely the middle meningeal branch. And then the second part is within the pterygopalatine fossa. It gives about 3 branches, namely the zygomatic branch, the pterygopalatine branch, and the posterior superior alveolar branch. The zygomatic branch divides into zygomatico-temporal and zygomatico-facial. This pterygopalatine branch gives secretomotor fibers to the lacrimal gland, and it also supplies other 4 parts, namely the orbit, nasal cavity, palate, and the pharynx. And then you'll have your posterior superior alveolar nerve. And the third part is within your infraorbital canal, which gives 2 branches, namely the middle superior alveolar and the anterior superior alveolar. And the fourth part is within the face, which gives the terminal branches. They are inferior palpebral, lateral nasal, and the superior labial. And what is very important to us dentists, is the nasopalatine nerve, greater palatine nerve, anterior superior alveolar nerve, middle superior alveolar nerve, and the posterior superior alveolar nerve. It supplies, the nasopalatine nerve supplies the anterior part of the hard palate, and the greater palatine supplies the posterior part of the hard palate. And the anterior superior alveolar nerve supplies your anterior teeth, and the middle superior alveolar supplies your upper premolar teeth, and the posterior superior alveolar supplies your upper molar teeth. So these nerves are very important. Don't forget. You'll probably anesthetize this every day in your practice. And at last, we'll see the area supplied by the nerve. For convenience, we'll divide it into skin, mucous membrane, and teeth. So skin, it supplies the skin in the middle of your face. Skin in the middle of your face, and then your lower eyelid, the lateral part of the nose, and the upper lip. And it supplies the mucous membrane of the nasopharynx, tonsils, hard palate, soft palate, and the maxillary sinus. And for the teeth, it supplies all of your upper teeth along with its periodontium. So I'll summarize now. First, we have seen the introduction about the ganglion, where it is situated, and the parts, the 4 parts, that is the part within the cranium, the part within the pterygopalatine fossa, the part within the infraorbital canal, and the part in the face. And then we saw the areas supplied by the nerve. So this is enough. Remember the nerves I have told you, the very important nerves, namely the nasopalatine, greater palatine, posterior superior alveolar, middle and anterior superior alveolar. Remember all these nerves and the areas it supplies. And in the next video, we'll see something very clinically, like the medical emergencies in the dental clinic. Emergencies, they are very important. So when you're working in the clinic, these will be we'll see about the more common emergencies we come across. We'll see how to identify it, how to treat it, and there are ways of prevention. So we'll see how to prevent it. We'll do something more clinically in the next video. Until then, to support me and my channel, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.